Welcome back to Between Two Wings. I'm your host, Jay Wiles. Today we have Jordyn Haught with us. She's the director of Fly Oz, and we'll learn more about this really interesting and awesome organization here in just a moment. But first, Jordyn, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. This is exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. Well, let's go ahead and jump into just talking about what's behind us a little bit. So, in my picture, you can see Fifi, one of the only two, I believe, airworthy B-29s that are still flying. And I saw this up in Northwest Arkansas at Drake Field, pretty close to you guys. So it's one of the few aviation things I've been able to do in Arkansas. But Jordyn, tell us what you've got going on behind you.
Sure. Behind me is our map of Fly Oz airfields. So we actually have a paper version of this that we give to folks who come here in person. And it just shows some of the airfields that are in our network closest to VBT. And we're very lucky to have some amazing backcountry spots. There's 35 in our network. Not all of them are pictured here on this map because it's a smaller snapshot of our spots. But privately owned airstrips for the most part that these folks have opened access to. And Fly Oz is just kind of a conduit to get the word out about them and get folks to come and visit.
That's awesome. That sounds like so much fun. How many of them have you been to?
Oh my. I don't know the answer to that actually. I'd say 70% and it's
That's
part of
awesome.
my mission this year as director to get to all of them for sure.
That's amazing. I love it. Can you haven't been in aviation, your whole career. Can you talk a little bit about how you got into this field?
Absolutely. Well, my dad was a pilot when I was a little kid, and it was my absolute favorite thing. There's never a time I remember before aviation. I was very lucky, very fortunate to have that early introduction and flying around in my dad's Piper Pacer and falling asleep, on the door of the Pacer, and the door would pop open, wake up, close it, go back to sleep. So the tail dragger lifestyle was always comfortable and home to me. But the interesting thing was I didn't know a single female aviator, and there were no female pilots in our circle. And it just truly never occurred to me that I could be a pilot, even though it was my absolute favorite thing. Sadly, I remember being a little kid thinking I would just have to grow up and marry a pilot. Like that would be the way I could fly. And so I moved on with life, and I ended up going into fundraising, which was very rewarding, but definitely felt like something was missing. And in 2018, I started flight training. So the reason I did was because I was on a vacation in the Caribbean, flying around, and I was getting on a Twin Otter to jump between islands. And the pilot was a woman. And we just struck up this conversation on the golf cart out to the airplane. And I just, couldn't stop talking to her, asking her questions. And we got to the airplane, and she looked me in the eyes and she said, "You need to be a pilot." And it was the first time in my whole life I thought, oh, I could be a pilot.
That's
Um,
amazing.
so yeah, I absolutely, I wish I knew her name. I wish I could get in touch with her. I keep her picture in my office. I look at it every day. If you can see it, you can be it for sure.
That's
She's the
amazing.
reason I'm sitting here. So yeah, I came home and started flight training. Really exciting. I had the opportunity to do flight training with the business that I work for now. So I was, just a wee private pilot student, and they were considering starting a flying club here at VBT in Bentonville. And they knew I had nonprofit experience and fundraising experience. And I was also sort of going around forcibly making everyone on the airfield be my friend. And so they said, could we pay you to do that? And so, yeah, we started a flying club here in 2018, and the rest is history, I guess.
That's amazing. Fly Oz seems to be, involved in so much in aviation. Can you talk a little bit about all the different things you guys do?
That's really true. We have so many aspects to this business. And as I said, I started out with the Flying Club, which was initially a separate entity. Only in January of this year did we actually merge the Flying Club with the rest of the Fly Oz brand. So Fly Oz is about aviation, community, and adventure. Aviation components, obviously, we have this network of airstrips that we access or open access to here in Northwest Arkansas. And by the way, the Oz is for Ozarks because we are situated here in the Ozark Mountains. Um, We also offer backcountry training and resources of all kinds. So we don't just toss you out into the backcountry here. We also really pride ourselves on high touch backcountry concierge service, if you will. That means giving you a briefing on the airstrips before you head out on your own. That means sending you out with an instructor if that's something that's helpful to you. That means getting your tail wheel endorsement, or we have backcountry 182s as well that you can explore the Ozarks in. So we really stake our claim on high touch service, safety. You're not going to see us landing on gravel bars. That's great for folks who want to do that, in their private airplanes. But for us, that's not a level of risk we're willing to accept. So staking our claim on enjoying the backcountry safely with very robust margins of safety, and briefing people and giving them all of the information that they need so that they can go out and do it with confidence. And then stewardship. I think we really stake our claim on working with other organizations, working with the communities where these strips are embedded to ensure that we have access for a long time and that we're good neighbors and part of a community. The Recreational Aviation Foundation has an airstrip called Trigger Gap, and we do everything we can to support them and help them. Our club members, if they head over there 6 times in a day and are causing a lot of noise, I make a phone call. Hey guys, we gotta keep it down. It's really important to us that we be seen as community partners. So that's the kind of aviation side of things. And then of course there's the flying club. Our flying club is not just about offering access to incredible high quality aircraft. We do that as well. But we're a bit unique for a flying club in that we also have this incredible, robust community. And if you talk to our president, Chad Cox, he'll be the first person to tell you everything we do here is embedded in thinking about community and making robust community. So the flying club is, of course, a big part of that. We have various lounges where people can hang out. We have all sorts of social events and flyouts, and we have over 400 members, which is really,
That's huge.
it is, and members all over the country, frankly. So, a lot of folks here locally, but also all over the country, because we're doing something really unique that people want to be a part of, which we're really proud of. And then adventure. We have incredible amenities here, incredible experiences that we want to give more and more people access to. And that all kind of turns into this lifestyle of flying the Ozarks, which is what we do.
That's so much fun. Can you talk about how this network of airstrips has been built up over the years?
Absolutely. I have to say, I cannot take credit. I'm a latecomer to that portion of the work. So I mentioned Chad Cox, our president, and back in, I think, 2012, our ownership expressed an interest to him in backcountry flying. They had gone up to Idaho and seen, what that experience is like, and thought, man, this seems like something we could really do here in Northwest Arkansas. So Chad had that idea in his mind, and then he met Chip Gibbons, who was here at VBT at this airfield, and he is I always call him our airfield guru. He already knew this community backwards and forwards. He's a native and had spent his lifetime making all these aviation relationships. And so he just seemed to know, where to go fly, whose airstrip he could land at and who maybe not, and he kind of had this tribal knowledge. And so Chad one day was like, hey man, like, how can we write that down or do something with that tribal knowledge so that more people can access it? And so back in like 2015, 2016, 2 ideas started happening simultaneously. One of those was what became the Airfield Guide. And Chip, previous life, did computer programming. So Chip started working on creating this really awesome database of airstrips to formalize all that tribal knowledge, and make it accessible. And at the same time, this idea of Fly Oz began, which was to create a local network of airstrips that, again, these are, like I said earlier, privately owned. And so it required going around and talking to people. So Chip and Chad and some other partners of ours, Dave Powell, Dwayne Bell, hope I don't forget anyone, they kind of got together and started just knocking on doors, going around talking to folks that they knew owned airstrips and selling them an idea, which frankly, we had very little to offer in return. We weren't really able to say, we can help you or pay you. It was just, hey, we know you love aviation and we want to bring more people to land at your airstrip if that's something you want. So you want to be part of this thing. And the amazing part of that is the response. All these folks just said, yeah, I want to be a part of that.
That's
Um,
awesome.
it's unique. A lot of
Definitely.
out west, a lot of those airstrips that folks are landing on, they're public land.
Hmm.
Here it's private, so it's a kind of a different animal, but super thankful for all of our airstrip owners and really proud to offer greater access to those locations.
Could you talk a little bit about a couple examples of those airstrips that people have access to?
Oh, I would love to. I could talk about that all day. Like the map behind me, we could spend the whole podcast on that. And I hate to pick a few because, they're all so wonderful and I don't want to upset anyone. One of the photos that I shared with you is some girlfriends and I with our airplanes. And with Zen, Zen and Pam are the owners of Birds Adventure Center. So that's a really popular one. They have a great restaurant. Do not miss Pam's Fried Pies.
That
Just
sounds amazing. Oh my
pro tip.
goodness.
And yeah, they have a bunch of different airstrips. The restaurant strip is a smaller, more challenging strip right by the restaurant. And then there's the river strip, which is long, open, nice open approach. So it's great for not even, your typical backcountry aircraft, but beautiful, idyllic place to get away to. More busy though. There's a campground and there's all the amenities are there. There's a bathroom, a bathhouse, there's showers, this is not backcountry roughing it. So that's definitely one you have to mention, but kind of the other side of the spectrum, but also nearby birds, I often hit both in one day, would be Richland Creek. So Richland Creek is on an offshoot of the Buffalo National River. It's beautiful. Like it can't be overstated how beautiful this spot is. The water is a color that is hard to even describe. And there's a swimming hole and a family of otters that lives there, which is just magical. And
Amazing.
you feel really, really off the grid there.
Mhm.
But FlyOz has invested to have some amazing amenities there. There's a really nice vault toilet, which sounds like a porta potty situation. It's not. It's really nice. And that's like, a next level, really. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, it really does open the clientele who wants to spend time there and camp there. So it's a really worthwhile investment. Beautiful pavilion and grills and stuff. We have an awesome team of volunteers led by Ken Duncan and Joe Wilson who take care of that place like it's their own. So that's another one. That's a can't miss. A personal favorite of mine is Horseshoe Bend, which is 1,000 foot long. It's on Beaver Lake.
Oh,
And it's
nice.
surrounded by Beaver Lake on three sides by water.
That sounds amazing.
It's amazing. It is a fun little challenge. You have to come in, low over the water,
Mhm.
but it's open on both ends. So even though it's 1,000 feet, it's a usable 1,000 feet. That one is just a blast. Then there's I don't even know what to call it, mountaintop of airstrips at a place called Banks Ranch. If you've ever seen, we were featured, AOPA very kindly featured us in a really
Mhm.
awesome article, and Banks Ranch was the cover photo.
Yeah. It's
They
beautiful.
yeah, Todd has I think four, if not five, airstrips up there, and he's always carving out new ones. So yeah, I hate to pick just a couple. I hope that our listeners come out and experience it for themselves. And there's an airstrip for every skill level. There's an airstrip for every aircraft type. If you're looking for a challenge, you've got Ponca International, as we call it, which is a little 1,000-foot strip hanging on the edge of a cliff overlooking the Buffalo National River. It is unbelievable. And he has Austin of the Buffalo Outdoor Center has at that airstrip a pilot's cabin that you can rent.
Oh, nice.
And it even comes with a car that you can drive around and explore the Ozarks. So yeah, just come and talk to me,
Yeah.
and we'll tell you what airstrips to go to. And for each person, we kind of help you customize what airstrips have the amenities that you're looking for. Are you looking to fish? Just tell us that. We can tell you which ones to go to. Are you looking for good restaurants? We can send you to those too. So yeah, we can help you customize your trip, but I want you to go to all of them.
That sounds amazing. So, Jordyn, what are the easiest ways for people to learn about all these airstrips in Northwest Arkansas?
The quickest is flyoz.com. And from there, you can be connected to all of our amenities. There's a phone number there that you can call. Human beings will answer it. And those two human beings are Chip Gibbons and Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson is well known from supercub.org, which he founded, and he's also here with us offering backcountry training, and one of our other airfield gurus. So him or Chip will answer the phone and can help you, give you a briefing or help you set up some backcountry training. And then if you just want to peruse our airstrips, from flyoz.com, you can download our ForeFlight content pack.
Had to get a little plug in there. Yeah.
There you go.
It's an amazing content pack, though. I've seen a lot of content packs just all over, and this one's really well done.
Again, kudos to Chip. It's amazing, and I will let you know we're in the works of another one. I say we as if I'm helping at all. I'm just asking for things. Chip is hoping to add this time places to eat and places to lodge to the content pack.
Cool.
So we
That's
should
awesome.
have some more. Yeah. And then this summer, we're hoping to get some more great photos and videos of a bunch of our airstrips, which will be added in the next content pack. So definitely be watching for those on our website. And yeah, it's amazing. You can just pull open your ForeFlight, see the runways, see the directions, read a full briefing, see the phone number if it's a place that you need to call for permission to land. They're coded yellow if you have to call for permission. They're coded green if you don't. So at a glance, you can buzzing along, oh, there's an airfield I haven't hit, can I go ahead and land? You'll know right then. Amazing. So all that information at your fingertips. Yeah, it's amazing. And then the last way I would say is definitely airfield.guide. So .guide, not .com, airfield.guide. And all of the airstrips, working with the RAF to give access to all sorts of airstrips, not just in Northwest Arkansas, but you can go there and toggle only the FlyOz airstrips.
Oh, cool.
So if you click FlyOz airstrips, then it'll narrow it down to just ours.
That's awesome. That's really cool. This has been awesome to just learn about this group and how much you guys are involved in. It's a ton.
Yes, we have a lot of irons in the fire, but it's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, Jordyn, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you everyone for tuning into this episode of Between Two Wings. We'll see you next time.